any job that is done by looking at a computer, making decisions and clicking on things will be able to be scaled and or fully automated very soon.
The largest advancement we've seen in a long, long time.
We can 10x what we were able to do before.
I watch all of their jaws drop.
We had an official countdown.
Did.
Business Growth Strategies podcast does it all, man. Come in hot there.
Coming in hot.
Welcome back to the BGSP, Business Growth Strategies podcast. We got a few people here actually today.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know that you guys have ever been on the Business Growth Strategies podcast.
I've
From
not.
what we had in the past or the new.
No.
I've not been on a BGSP.
Beautiful.
No.
We got Dave, our founder and CEO.
Whoop, whoop.
Danny, who is our director of SEO. And
He's
then-
actually our paid traffic director or our traffic director,
traffic director. Yeah. He handles everything underneath that umbrella. SEO,
which includes SEO
and paid ads.
Start over. No, I'm kidding.
Five,
You got my title wrong.
Late
3,
introduction.
2, 1.
He does everything. And here is Karen. She is our digital PR manager. So we're going to be hanging out today and bringing a couple other people in later as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're going to start off with a little icebreaker question. And that is, what is one business belief you have today that you did not have 5 years ago? Don't wait for me to call on you.
Okay.
Okay.
I have mine.
Mm.
Get it.
Mine was that lunch break culture.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Mine was that lunch break culture it wasn't conducive to productivity. And now I think that everybody you at least need a solid hour
What is it in Italy? Isn't it in Italy?
away
Is it-
from all work,
yeah.
you know?
They
to
take
just-
this, isn't it in Italy where they take like midday, like couple hour
Yes.
breaks and then come back
Oh, I'm
later
gonna
on? Or
fire
Do you
something?
know in Egypt they do that? They shut the buildings down, your businesses down, and you take a 2.
Yeah, and
to
what's
3
the
hour-
GDP per capita of Egypt compared to the United States where we work?
You know,
America's
they go home
turnover.
and take naps. They take naps.
America's workforce turnover rate is already so high. I can't imagine how many people wouldn't come back to work after that 2 hour
They
break.
just leave and they just don't come back.
Know that if it's a nice day, don't count on it.
Dude, yeah.
I literally was having this conversation last night, and with Mark, who
Where'd
Mark's
he go?
supposed to be here producing, but I don't know where he
Is he
went.
under the table?
But I don't know, Karen, is he?
Oh, something.
He better not be.
So I hope not. Is he a mouse? So we were having dinner last night, and this actually got brought up, ironically. And I was like, look, here's what ticks me off about lunch break culture, because in many situations, we have a lot of people that come in here at like 7 and they'll leave at 3 and they don't take a lunch. Like typically, like we might take a walk around outside or something like that. Here's my problem. And Karen, you worked with me nearly 20 years ago at another company where like everyone, first there's a discussion.
Yes.
Sure.
It's like, where are we actually going to go to lunch? Right. And it's
And then it's a debate. And
then
on,
there's right. So you've got probably 20 minutes of time where it's just you might be sitting at your computer in your office, but you're not working. You're talking and thinking about lunch and looking up menus and all that. So then there's the decision. And then you've got people that are upset because their lunch choice was not selected by the peer group. And so now you've got not only the time, but now in addition to the time, you've got people that are butthurt,
yeah.
which is psychologically negatively affecting their work output. Then you travel to the lunch destination,
Which is
collectively.
Yes.
And you know what you do while you're there? You talk negatively about all the people who are not currently at the lunch
break.
Exactly. And so that goes against one of our main deals, which is we learned from Entree Leadership, we have a no gossip policy. So you're not allowed to speak negatively about anybody else in the team unless somebody's in the room that can fix the problem or it's that person themselves.
Right.
And that works great here because we don't have clicks. Like we don't have clicks.
Exactly.
We don't have everyone just kind of, and we call each other out publicly, and stuff.
And we talk about each other with ourselves.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm okay to, do that.
So then you come back to the office. And do you know anytime, and this does happen here.
Well, you're a little bit sleepy from the food.
Right. And any time that you come back and hi, Mark, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You weren't under the table, were you?
Yeah, we thought you were under the table
Yeah,
earlier. Where did you come from? So then when you actually get back into the office, the product, like you're just
Yeah.
toast.
Yes.
I would much rather, in my own personal experience, I would much rather sit and just go.
Yeah.
And go to the end of the day. You want food?
I do.
Bring a freaking
Yeah, but
yogurt. Bring a Greek yogurt. What's that brand? Nice and thick.
Just so everyone is aware, everyone who works here currently is happy working here.
Yes,
okay?
we
Yeah,
are.
oh, yeah.
Yes, we are.
Very
Unless I'm
excited.
not in the room or it's not recorded.
We're very excited to come into work every day.
It's just
Have
the orange chicken makes you sleepy,
Oh.
and if I could bring that from home, I would.
See,
You can.
and here's the thing with Chinese food. You have the Chinese food. It
Yeah.
makes you feel extremely sleepy because
Yeah.
you ate way too much. 2 hours later, you're hungry again.
Hungry
You're having a
again.
second
Yeah.
lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
you're down 2 hours in your day.
Exactly.
No, I actually wanted to mention that because we were at our most recent quarterly meeting. We were talking about something, and I said, and I actually didn't know Dave's like the context for it or something. Like I didn't, and I said, yeah, you know what? We're not really a lunch place like culture, like a lunch break culture.
Right.
And then Dave was like,
Mhm.
and there's a reason. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that part though. I was just like, yeah, we don't really do it.
Can you guys hear me?
And I come
Yes,
from
we can hear
Yeah,
you.
what's
Hey.
up, Mark?
Hey guys,
Is
Mark
it-
is joining us
Ha-
as well.
Welcome.
How does it sound?
It sounds good.
You sound like a no. You sound great.
Hey, yo, get out of here. Now I'm just going to get my headphones set up.
We
All right.
appreciate you, Mark. Mark is actually the reason we're having a podcast today, because otherwise
Exactly.
we
You're the
wouldn't
voice
have
of my
everything set up for us so that we could just come in and do it. So thank you, Mark.
Yes.
He's
thank
Appreciate
you.
he's also
You're
our
the man.
social content extraordinaire. Appreciate you, brother.
No, but I come
Push
from-
one of those buttons for Mark.
Yeah.
Who knows which
The
one?
clap.
I'm a part of a cult and I love it.
That one. The next one. Do the next one.
When it all comes down to it.
No,
hey!
Our next one. Next one.
Okay, one more.
Hey.
Well done, Mark. Happy to have you.
No, but I
boy.
came from a place that was like everybody took lunch break at a certain time of the day. So everybody from the office was gone 12:15 to 1:15.
Mm.
And this is not a joke. I felt like if you didn't do it, it was like you were almost like you were doing something wrong. There were a few times I
Oh.
didn't want to. I remember trying to figure something out in meta ads.
Peer pressure.
I remember trying to figure something out in meta ads. It was frustrating me so
Your
much.
armpits were getting sweaty.
Because
Like,
if
yeah.
you've been in meta ads, there's a million ways they update the platform. There's a million ways to find the same thing, and it gets confusing. And I sat there, and a couple people were like, "Are you going to take lunch?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to. I'm stressed right now.
I will when I go
I'm at
home."
work." So I am happy with the way it is.
Do you remember when we stopped? Well, health insurance required, like our health insurance company. We back in the day we had like 60 employees, and a lot of them were like phone reps. About 40 of them were like sales reps, and the health insurance company was like, you will get a massive discount on your health insurance if you do not allow any smoking on the property. So we were like, okay, cool. Like, we'll just not allow smoking on the property anymore. We took away all the ashtrays. We let everybody know. I am not joking. It was like a herd of cattle
Yes.
in the morning going to get milked. Everyone at once. Because I bet, am I exaggerating if I say
No.
65, 70% of
Yes.
people smoked?
Yeah.
So literally it was like all of a sudden, multiple times per day when we made this decision, everyone would get up. from their cubicles and they would walk in line out and they
And
walk
across-
down the street
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
where there was a pavilion,
For
rain
them
or
to sit
shine.
on.
A huge group of people is down there under this pavilion having cigarettes, and then they would take a 15-minute break once they got there,
Yep.
and then walk back up to
I feel
the
like
office.
it's acceptable to allow if you're not basing results off of time clocks. If you're basing them off of actual stats and like those metrics that we need to meet for the leading indicators, then okay, like how many calls did you have in it today? Like if,
Yeah.
if you hit your 300 calls, you can go home.
Yeah.
And there's leniency in that way. But man, I couldn't imagine trying to get back in focus mode after bouncing for an
That's
hour.
Yeah,
Oh,
and especially in
That's
our
the
world,
toughest
it's
thing for
tough.
me.
It
Yeah.
actually makes it really difficult. The like memory I have was my first job out of college, and I went to Chick-fil-A for a lunch break, and just crushed it.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was used to like college or something to work, and I was like, I need to sleep in my
Yep.
car, but I couldn't. And I was like, not doing that ever again.
Mm.
But I was exhausted. It was so hard to work afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't have this anymore, thankfully.
Yeah. I think that's one of the we did a thing to kind of fix that where we started comping people on dials,
Mhm.
minutes on
Yeah.
the phone,
Yep.
stuff like that. And remember for a season you could go home as soon as you had X number of metrics on the board.
Mhm.
Yep.
Jack Kelly, God rest his soul, I don't think he's around anymore. But Jack Kelly he loved it because he loved, I don't want to say that. He loved being home, and he would get done by like 1 o'clock every day,
Yeah.
make his money, man. And he was out, and he was one of our highest income producers.
And you didn't have a problem with that?
No, I didn't at
No.
all, because our expectation was, so
It wasn't time based; it was results based.
Well,
Yes.
and if you're listening to this right now or watching it, and you have like a team of salespeople that are like cold callers, or like certain types of factory workers where it's just hard work.
Mhm.
Right.
Getting hung up on the phone all day, that's tough, man. It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
So if we could get the results out of people that we knew would result, we knew the metrics were there. So
Yeah.
like we knew if so many dials were made and there was a certain average of time per dial, we knew they were going to have closes.
Right.
Like, so what we started doing is, rather than incentivizing them just on the close, we incentivized them on the activity that was really hard to motivate somebody to do, so that they would actually end up, and it worked
Makes sense.
extremely well. We're getting into that kind of stuff a little bit here, where we're it's not through comp really, but it's just like those metrics that we went over this
Yeah.
morning. Like those are those, we know that if everyone does these certain metrics, that it's going to lead to success. And
Yeah.
so,
Right.
Because I actually think that's important to the people listening or watching. Like, if you're thinking about culture, we talk about like not having a lunch break culture here. I do genuinely feel like, of the places that I've worked, and I've been here a little over 3 years, this is the most productive of places. But I still feel like there's plenty of freedom, so to speak. Like,
Yes.
there's mental freedom.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the biggest one for me. Is like saying we don't have a lunch break culture doesn't mean you feel like you feel locked in a good way, but you don't feel like caged in.
Yeah.
Right.
You actually feel, I feel like there's more.
Right.
You have
Freedom.
yeah. Because if you don't have that, and then you have no breathing room, and you're like, oh, it's Friday, and I cannot get this stuff done, you don't want to be in that position.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we still keep things very lively without having a structured lunch hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have a great team here, but I want to move a little bit past that conversation, Dave. I'm really interested in knowing like how your mindset has shifted in the past 5 years, because I look at things like, for me, I came on board here about 4.5 years ago. I come from the restaurant industry. I had no experience with business management or marketing or anything like that previously. So when I think about this question, I'm like, well, everything. Like what has changed in my mindset in the past
Right.
5 years as far as business goes? Literally everything. But I'm curious for you, because you've been in business since you were 14 years old. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say.
Business mode.
Not going to say how old you are now, but
Closing deals.
but
Right out
no,
of the canal.
I am
2-4
curious
that,
though.
2-4.
For
What's that, Mark?
I said that was 2-4.
We're 4 years into AI. I know that
Yeah.
probably has something to do with shifting your mindset.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like on your end, what do you see as the biggest shift? past 5 years?
So hard businesses, which we have one, because when you have a boutique anything, where like we're redesigning our website right now,
Mhm.
and we're thinking right now it's going to feature a brain on it as kind of one of the centerpieces, because really when you're buying any kind of a consultant service like this in a B2B environment, what you're buying are the brains of the
Sure.
people
Yeah.
that are there, right? So that's not scalable. That wasn't scalable.
Right.
So what I think has changed the most now is, and actually at I don't know if any of you guys were with us at Traffic and Conversion Summit, but the 1 year Ryan Dice talked, and that's a huge marketing event. Like 10,000 people there.
Yeah.
Typically. I don't know that it's happening anymore. It might be, but it was done by digitalmarketer.com, and it was amazing. But anyway, so the big thing though was talking about how our industry is not scalable, and we all need to own that. Like that was a big keynote kind of a moment. And he was talking about this idea that, look, while it's not scalable, that's why we get to charge so much for what we do, because it's hard,
That's fair.
you know?
Right.
And you guys know, we have
Yeah.
multiple publicly traded companies that this little tiny team does work for, and they're blown away by what
With the
we do
results.
with our little tiny team. But it's because, we're
We're mighty.
yes,
Well,
it's
I think it has a lot to do with us not being so task. I'm not that we're not task oriented, but the tasks
We're
don't
solution
drive-
oriented.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
The tasks drive the
Yeah,
solution.
in a large organization that has a ton of different clients, everyone kind of has this set list of
Yes.
things that they need to go
Yes.
through and check off during the day.
Yes.
We're not like that.
Right. So like right now we're building out the AI version of our company. It's what we're actively doing. And every individual here is an expert at their own area, and they're responsible to create stuff with AI. And I mean,
Yeah.
not use ChatGPT. Like, you know, you guys
Create.
both, we've met, you know, you both had meeting, Jonathan, you and I were talking today, like you both are coding now. You're
Right.
not coders. I'm not a coder. Like, you know, everyone in our building now codes with AI. Why? Because we can build apps, we can build tools, we
Mhm.
can build strategies. Now, all that to say that I think the biggest thing for me is I believe that a digital marketing agency that is boutique like we are, that I believe 100% that we're scalable now.
Mm.
We just have to build it.
Right.
And now we can build it because we have the hands of every single person that's kind of recreating themselves. And they talk about like job replacement and all that kind of stuff. Everyone that's here today is going to be here as long as they want to be. You know, they're going to be here in 5 years. And it's because we'll probably be, we could be 10 times the size.
Yeah.
You know, why? Because we're going to build AI systems underneath our positions that replicate what we do. And we talked earlier today, Danny, like we can 10x what we were able to do before. So like one of the ideas is maybe like right now our individual services are $5,000 a piece per month generally, or they're sold in these $5,000 increments. We can move into a position where maybe, I don't know this for sure, but maybe we will actually charge $5,000 and you get the whole freaking team. Because now, and now we're able to produce so much. Like our clients are still spending what they we had to make that decision. Like, do we charge less because now it takes us less time, or do we do more? And we opted to do more.
Yep.
So and so our clients are ecstatic because they're getting more than they've ever gotten before, and it's because we're building all these tools and technologies. So that is that is a long explanation to say that if you have a hard business model, like you're not selling, you know, a scalable commodity service or product that is the same for everyone. You know, toilet paper is scalable. If we're going to start a toilet paper company, all we got to do is get it cheaper and make it better. You couldn't think like that in different industries that are hard. Law is going to, lawyers are toast unless they, I was once told by a very successful lawyer friend of mine that lawyers will never go away because they're in Congress, like they're making laws. They will continue to make laws that make it so that like AI can't replace themselves. But I got to tell you, I think some of these AI companies are going to come out with a law firm. You get a lawyer, you know, and I don't know how it works. Like in real estate, you have to have a broker's license. I'm assuming there's something like that where there's like a team of people that have certain education or something that they have to be a certain title or something that in order to hang a shingle. But I believe that there's going to be some whip smart attorneys out there who are going to go, we can scale this and create a one-person billion-dollar law firm, because it's all about this. It's all about, can we do a higher quality for cheaper with a better experience? And if you can do those three things, which you can with AI, that's the stuff that's going to replace the next generation.
And that was always the challenge before. What's the Venn diagram that we talk about?
Fast, great, affordable.
Yeah, those are the
cheap.
three, and we can
fast, great, cheap.
Yeah, and we can finally do that.
Pick two. That's what the now you can pick three.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, that's the goal that we have. So yeah, if you're in a business that's hard and has a complex business model that you go, this just isn't scalable. It is now scalable.
Yeah. I think that's great for us. You mentioned it, Dave, but I mean, one of the things I'm most excited about that we're doing is what Dave said, which is like truly every single one of our clients gets more now than they did a year ago.
Yeah.
Than they did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And we haven't grown our team size.
Mhm.
You know, here and there, right? We have a new like developer recently, doing amazing things, but like not by
Not
much.
like 10 or
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
it starts all the way at the beginning too.
Right.
Like from my experience being the director of strategic partnerships,
Got your title right away.
when they get thank you,
Yeah.
appreciate it. When they get that service up front before ever becoming a client, right? And in my position, I've been able to get follow-ups done faster, more efficiently, with better information, giving them more context, like all of these different things. And when they get that type of experience before they ever become a client, they can
Right.
only expect to get that type of experience when they become a client, or even more, right? We
Right.
talk about value versus payment. If they're getting $100 worth of value for $0, you
Right.
can expect that you're going to
Yes.
get $5,000 worth of value out of $1,000.
That's
that type of
actually
thing.
big too, because there's been a few new clients of ours recently where the sentiment or tone that they came down to like me and my teams with, so to speak, it's so positive already that I'm like, all right, what I have to do is keep the positive sentiment alive
Mhm.
and grow it. You want to
Yeah.
wow them more
Yeah.
and more. But I remember there always being, it felt like a disconnect at two previous companies I was with between, it's like in music, there's like the disconnect between sound guys and musicians. They should be working together, but they don't. Like there's always some
Yeah.
weird tension.
Mhm.
The sound guy wants it this way, the musician wants it this way. I need my guitar louder. The sound guy's like,
Yeah.
it's too loud. It felt like with sales and production or whatever, there was like kind of an animosity. There was a disconnect
yeah.
rather, which
Right.
can create the animosity where it was like there was just a disconnect with what they would
Where
sell.
now
And I
you have
understand
to-
it because they need to sell, but it maybe's like not set up well. They didn't wow them on that front
Right.
end. They like just closed the deal. Then it would come down to us and it felt like, well, I feel like we have to salvage this
yeah,
thing
now you
from
have-
jump. And I haven't experienced that as much here, especially lately. There have been a couple where I'm like, they're wild from the beginning. Let's just keep this going.
Right.
And it makes it easier.
Hey,
Hi,
I have 5
Pam.
minutes.
Buddy,
So this is
everybody say
Pam.
hi to Pam.
Pam, come on camera really quick, Pam. If you
can
haven't
say
met,
hi.
Mark,
if you
give up your
haven't-
seat.
If you haven't met Pam yet, you will soon.
Yeah, that's Pam. Hey, yep, there you are. There you are. Pam was just wrangling Danny.
Sweet.
Love it.
Peace out,
Thank you.
Pam.
Bye, Pam.
All right.
So,
No.
by the way, just to mention it
little
real
less
quick,
anxious now.
one of the things that and we don't have to talk about this every single time, but I love the casual nature,
Yeah.
and I want to keep that with this. Like, you're just if you're watching this, you're gonna
Yeah.
you'll randomly have that stuff happen. Mark might come over here and get off his phone and start doing something. I'm just busting chops.
I'm researching headphone cables for my so I can have headphones
Oh.
So,
over here.
yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
Take away from
That's
the
a good
day if you're not casual enough, if you don't feel like it's casual enough, like it is here, get rid of break time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Get rid of
there you
lunches.
go.
Get rid of lunches,
rid of it.
right?
Yeah, I do love our no gossip policy. By the way,
That's
That's amazing.
Yeah.
the best.
I think it's in our manual. Like you
Yep.
literally, you will get terminated if
We should implement if you gossip and use someone's name, everyone else gets to gossip about you over the next week. You have 5 days,
Dude.
to
Yeah.
just be
An
shamed.
eye for an eye.
And oh,
Yes.
yes.
There you go.
Anyway, Danny, wrap a bow on that really quick because
I got more time now.
I had something to add there. But
I
it was
was,
off the
yeah.
bat.
I mean, the bow, I think he's just number one, great job for sales. But like they've been wowed on the front end either with some work. Maybe it's been a website client and then they come on for recurring services,
Mhm.
or it's just been the sale and it's been the way that Manny has like directed it, stuff he's done to like show them the work that we can do
Right.
from the
Mhm.
beginning, the communication, the
Yeah.
very prompt follow up, all that sort of stuff. But it's like a legitimate difference. There's 2 clients I'm thinking of in particular that's like that. And I felt like, wow, from the get-go, there's a level of trust established that we can't break now and we build upon, but it's different than lots of things I've had in the past where
Do you need help with that?
I'm
sorry.
loving watching you tighten your microphone.
Because
So it's
every
actually that you're what I love about it is you're tightening the wrong.
is it this one?
Yes, it's
Okay.
that one.
Mark
But
makes
I
fun
had-
of me for these.
So,
headphones.
so I had to I think we need to put like some rubber
You-
inside of the things here, Mark. Like, because there is
Got
I got it.
it's kind of my microphone is going flaccid a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm.
This is what you don't want.
I thought
Can
that
I-
was
I'm gonna
funnier.
come and help you.
I thought.
I think I'm good now.
thought it
I
was
don't
pretty
even
funny.
hear
I just want
myself
to say that trust
talking,
is
so-
built, and then we can build upon
You don't
it.
hear
I
yourself
don't feel like I have to build.
No,
the-
I don't feel like I'm talking loud enough. Like when I hear all of you, it's really loud. But for me, I keep thinking like, hello, is it on?
There she. That's very loud now.
Is it on?
Yeah. Oh, it's on. We can hear you great.
Oh, good, perfect.
Yeah.
As long as you can hear me, I don't need to hear myself. Then.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Is it me? Oh,
I was wearing headphones with a hat while I was doing lawn work the other day. My wife
that's
told me
me.
I look like
That's
an
real loud.
insect.
An insect.
turn it down.
Wow.
Why?
You were wearing headphones. What?
I was wearing headphones with a hat. What do we? What's happening here?
With a
going on?
hat?
I'm not like Danny. I.
I think I'm good now. I won't touch it.
Well, no, it's this one's going flaccid. Oh,
There you go.
it's pretty tight, bud.
Yeah.
That's on it.
Yours
Okay.
looks good now. But
It
yeah,
doesn't look like it's.
but Mandy, riff on that because that's how. Yeah, I don't feel like I have to build the trust from sales
agree.
to production.
Yeah.
Well, and here's I was going to say that's been a process too, because there was a disconnect like that here at
Yes.
one time. And I think the process that we've created, one is having whoever that person is closing the sale, having that person on the kickoff call
Exactly.
so that they can kind of bring everything together. So everyone has
And
the same
tie the knot.
understanding and
Yep.
create the alignment for knowing where the project is going to go. In that call, it is also my job to get them re-excited, right?
Right.
Because it's
Mhm.
been a week and a half since we've met with them, and they're super excited.
Mhm.
We're talking about a new client that we have who's coming on for a website build. So throughout that entire process, getting them to the point to where they're excited was also a shift for us because now with the addition of AI, we can do so many more things within the week of having a discovery call and then meeting with them and giving them the proposal, right? Like it's not just
Radio silence after the.
100%.
Mhm.
Like it makes the follow-ups easier because when you follow up, it's not saying, hey, calling you to follow up or to
Right.
check in. You're
Yeah.
actually coming to them with some kind of value, which is going to help get them excited. So to take them the whole way throughout that process, giving them the visuals, being able to do a website mock-up before every even
Exactly.
meeting with them and blowing
Yep.
them away with that, then all of the resources that they're given afterwards, then the proposal process begins and being able to
Yep.
spell out every single line item or wireframe that we're doing for the entire website. Then also taking that proposal and building it into a web-based proposal that's really
Yes.
easy for them. In this specific situation, the lady that I was talking to, she wasn't the final decision maker. She's the chief marketing officer, but she has a board, right? This is a healthcare facility. She has a board that she has to go take it in front of. Could you imagine her trying to sit there with a 10-page proposal built
Right.
out of text and trying to present that to their team, right?
But
Right.
that's what we used to do to our
That's
clients.
100%. Yeah. And in most cases, we would try to push to have them have us on that as well so that we could spell it out for them. But now being able to create those proposals on a web-based format that's really easy to flow
To
and walk
navigate.
through
Yes.
gives them all the actionable things. We talk about CFO pretties or CEO pretties,
Mhm.
taking
Yeah.
large complex documentation and putting into a form that's really easy to understand and looks good in front of a CEO or a board or something like that. We've been able to do that. And
Right.
so quick. In a matter of 2 days, we had a complete proposal. We had a web-based proposal. We're so prepared. And when we take that entire process and we're able to get them even more excited, it's just it becomes seamless to go into that kickoff call. They're already excited. We're
Right.
re-engaging. We're getting them even more excited. Hopefully, there's more people on that kickoff call than just the lady we were talking to, so we can get everyone on board. But just the transition, like we didn't start out like that.
You have to
No.
grow
Like we
and
had
learn.
we
Yeah.
had a lot
And
of
not only that, but you're also building up within our team. Like you're coming back and giving us all this information
Mhm.
and we're getting excited.
Yeah.
And within the team, we're already talking and collaborating. So when we do come to that call, we're bringing that energy with us and they're just looking at it like, oh my God, these people are just so,
Yeah.
they're energized.
if we are here on the energy Richter scale, we can never expect them to be up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
They're always going to be a tick lower than
Right.
what we are as far as
That's
excitement goes.
actually
Yes.
What's cool here is as a part of our sales process, we've kind of shifted to bringing experts into those early conversations so they can have more technical conversations to
Yes.
figure out exactly what it is that they need. And that's really, really, really helped. So when we take all of that, I don't even remember where I was going with that conversation. Where did we start?
Like the trust built from sales.
Oh
to
yeah,
handoff.
the energy level.
Yeah.
How excited we are. Now that we have like multiple different people in those early conversations, say for a website design project, I'm going to bring Jonathan, I'm going to bring Caleb in, right? Caleb's
Yeah.
going to be taking care of the design. Jonathan's going to be taking care of all of the code and the complex things like that. So to be able to have those conversations and dig into all those things without me having to have all of those
Right.
answers, not only does that help the client, but it helps us to get excited because now
Yes.
I'm excited about a
Yep.
potential sale and the relationship that I'm building with the client.
Yeah.
Caleb's super excited because he's working on the design.
Right.
Jonathan's super excited because he's working on the code and all the technical integrations for that. So now we have, at the very least, three
Three.
people who are bought in and excited about this thing. And what does that do to the rest of the team? It just becomes contagious. Now
Yes.
everyone's excited about this
Right.
thinking project.
Yes.
And oftentimes, and I think it was the case here in the past prior to AI, you would bring on, like, if we said we're going to bring on 4 clients next week, it would be like, okay, that's a lot, but it wouldn't be overwhelming.
No.
Now you mean
Right.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yep.
if I would have told you 3 years ago we're going to bring on 4 clients next week, y'all would be like, who we hiring?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
And what is our
understand-
goal?
understand-
Yeah. Where do we go?
Yeah.
understand hearing 4 new clients in a week might not be crazy for some people, but
Oh, we're
when
high
you
ticket. Yeah,
we're
yeah,
high
yeah.
ticket. We don't take any more than 60 clients on at one time. So one project is massive for us because of all of the thought process and the
Right.
work that we're putting into it. So to get 4 for us
And we're a
previously
boutique.
was very
so we're
overwhelming.
smaller
Right.
and our team.
Because
Yeah.
that's what's kind of cool. Like when you bring a project in, by and large, I think everybody's hands and
Are touching
brains are being used and hands are touching it, right? Like
Yep.
in the company, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and building on that too, I had a conversation Monday with a client. They're fairly new, and she has to present stuff to the board later on this year, like periodically, it might be quarterly rather. And we were going through stuff. And she's like, do you have like where you track this? I was like, oh, we do. This is like the work log and overview. We track all of our meeting notes. You can find everything in there. And I said, you know what, too? Like sometimes we'll put together presentations for our clients so you can present to the board so you don't have to take the time to build that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, we can do beautiful things, like you said, CEO Pretties, like using AI, like tools that we've
Right.
built to do it. And she said, oh my gosh, could you really do that for me?
Yeah.
Like genuinely
Right.
responsive. I was like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Like we've done that. We have. But maybe I wouldn't have been so quick on the draw to like suggest that 4 years ago or something. Sorry, I'm touching it. 4 years ago to
Sit on
touching the
your
wrong
hands.
thing too. Before AI, because it would have felt
Right.
like so much. And then I'm passing it off so I can fix this.
I want to watch you. I want to watch you fix it.
Damn
It
it.
feels
Yeah.
really tight.
We need like some plastic
Rubber.
wrap,
All right, we're good.
Oh,
some plastic wrap or like a rubber
pounce.
something in there. Yeah.
Rubber
I think
stopper.
But yeah, I think that's a cool
Yeah.
thing too. There's the beginning, but that ongoing relationship, what you can provide outside of our services, so to speak,
Right.
if that's fair
Yeah.
to say.
that
like-
added value that we give.
Karen, I'm sorry, did I interrupt your
No, go right ahead.
So one of the things when I talk about like scalability, link building organizations who do it the right way, who actually are building true great content for their clients. We used to build really good
Mhm.
content for our clients.
Right.
Now, because of AI and because you're now able to code,
Yeah.
you are able to create truly incredible pieces. I'll give an example, and then I'd love for you to share like kind of how you would handle it differently. So today with AI, because again, this is just a difference in how things were before. So we were doing for a car website that it was kind of like an automobile. It was kind of like a car enthusiast site. And they made money through advertisers, affiliate marketing, stuff like that. We needed to get their site ranking. To rank, you have to get links pointing into your website. That's probably 80% of the prominence, in addition to on-page content and technical and all that stuff. But anyway, so link building is this huge thing. That's digital PR. It's what you're literally in charge of here. And to get links to a site, you have to have content that a journalist would look at and be like, this is awesome. Not promotional. It's
Yep.
truly
Not
good.
salesy.
Not salesy, truly good stuff. Well, to do that 5 years ago,
Oh,
you would have to hire
a writer.
a writer, probably a data scientist, because
Yes.
to get truly magical content, you've got to combine like data
The
from here
data-driven.
and data from here and kind of mix it and match it. You're talking $4,000 or $5,000 in labor to create one truly remarkable
High-end
content piece. And then you have to charge $10,000 a month at that point for link building only.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and there are agencies, link building
Yeah.
agencies that do exactly what I'm describing right now. But Karen, like, hit on an example, if you don't mind, of like how a project like that today goes with
so,
AI compared to how it was before.
So just even working with what I'm doing today, I'm creating a Quizlet that's based off of 18-year-olds and whether or not they've hit that adulthood or whether or not they're doing that. And that allows, for me, I've never coded. I've not done any of that. And AI, I was using, ChatGPT here and there. What's the best recipe? Things like that. I am so excited to where I've grown and how I've come. I go in now to Visual Studio Codex. I tell it what I want. I use, Gemini, Perplexity to gather data points, put it in, and I'm almost done creating that Quizlet that I want to be able to publish. So there's so much more behind it. As long as you're
And
not
the benefit
afraid,
to the client of having that Quizlet is that it's going to get
be
social attention.
yes, there's going to be journalists that want to review and write about it and link to it because there's more data and science behind that.
Right.
Why is it that, there are 3 different sections to this Quizlet? Well, because the scientists show that behind this section and behind this one and this one, this is where it's coming from. So yeah, it's getting those high-end journalists to want to link back to it, which again brings us back to that SEO link juice that we need in order for that to be ranking.
And I'm sure you can see now, call it even, my gosh,
3 years ago.
Well, no, what I'm saying is in the future, like a year in the future,
Oh,
being able to create these amazing pieces
Yes.
of content for every single one of our clients on a regular basis
exactly.
that we couldn't have done for the money that they pay us
No.
before, is now completely, that wouldn't freak you out at all.
No,
you
and
know?
it doesn't because I already have a spreadsheet. I've already started,
Right.
with the topics that I want to do for all of them. It's just learning the prompts, the coding, and making sure that, I can go through with it. But having a team behind me
Yeah,
that is so supportive. And if I have questions, I can go to Jonathan or Caleb or you or Danny and be like, hey, I just need another
Not Manny though.
Do not come to me, please.
Not that I wouldn't come to you, but
No.
You-
This is fine.
Let's
This is
do
fine.
Danny. Let's
I like to
try-
go. I like
Can
to go.
we make this as uncomfortable for Manny as possible?
Yeah, yeah.
And
You
Karen?
will not listen. Tapping on my shoulder and adding to my lack of bandwidth will. You don't have to worry.
I always like to do
this.
this. You know what? That's a great question. We should loop Jonathan in just to get his.
get his opinion. Call a friend.
Speaking
Can you
of
call-
Jonathan, hey, can we get Jonathan and Caleb a link for the podcast, Mark?
Yes,
Oh,
we
bring
Real
can.
them
quick,
on.
can I say something with that too? Because like Karen's very sharp, very tenacious. You have to bring what's really exciting about, let's say, like coding and the things we're talking about, building these awesome tools,
Right.
link-based pieces, whatever it is, and you're using code. You're bringing a strategic like methodology to it, a mindset, and then you're sharpening that mindset
Right.
of yours as you're working and finding out what works and what doesn't work.
Yes.
But like, Dave, maybe you wouldn't want me to say this, but like, if you like, I was showing Dave something today that was like still a very much work in progress, but I'm like, this is like kind of my first foray into this a little bit, building some stuff. Like, I don't know how I would even like, I don't know where to go to get started to code
Right.
without our systems
Yeah, yeah.
or without
Right.
AI.
No, it's
Exactly.
Like, it's not that I couldn't code well. It's more like,
Where do you
you
start?
gotta even need to get me on the road. Like
Yes.
that's like how not of a coding brain I have, or like what I come from, like in my
Right.
role. So if people are listening and watching this, and like, okay, but like, don't I need to have like at least some knowledge of like how to
No.
code and basic HTML and
No.
CSS, or like,
Nope.
you have to just be tenacious. I think that's the biggest thing, and get into it, and
Yep.
then learn, and then think through what you're trying to do. That's the best part, is like you're not losing your strategic way of thinking,
No.
or you're
Mhm.
thinking through it that way, but like it removes a lot of barrier to entry,
It's really good.
and
Yeah.
it's super exciting. You just have to get started with it. And that's an encouragement
And it's
probably
the
to
truth.
teams,
Yeah, you're
like
right.
if you're a CEO or whomever,
Yeah.
CMO listening, well, how does my team get started? Because like, okay, you guys are in the industry, you know this stuff. A lot of us didn't know
No.
a lot of the components of it. There's some people here who did help us like get started,
Right.
but like you just roll with it. And
You just
will.
go in and you cannot be afraid to mess up. Like you
Yeah.
just have to be able to go in and be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and it's not going to be the best thing. Like you said, it's not pretty at the beginning, and it wasn't, but you just have to not be able to get tripped up, because that's where I was last week. I tripped up. I was in my own thoughts, and this is too much. I don't know where I'm going. And I got flustered, and I had to take a day where I just said, you know what? I'm going to reevaluate. And then on Monday, I hit it strong. And now I'm so excited of where I'm at. So,
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is to, if you open, we got some, Jonathan. There's Jonathan. I'm finishing the thought here, bud. So I think the biggest thing is just grabbing a laptop and installing either Cursor or VS Code.
Anti-gravity.
Anti-gravity, but like one of the actual applications
gotcha.
that you install on your computer.
Gotcha.
right.
Because when you do that, you literally can. The only reason we use Vercel is because AI told us to one day.
Yeah.
Like inside of one of those things, I was like, well, we want to build this and this and this. And I literally asked the question, what do organizations like Snapchat and like, if I was a Silicon Valley developer, what would be the most affordable, cheapest way to, and it recommended Supabase. And at the time, Jonathan's not here anymore. He was here.
Oh no.
Did we lose him?
Jonathan.
Oh, there's Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. We lost Jonathan.
Hey.
Where'd he go?
Oh.
Hey, where'd he go?
There he is.
He
He's here
vanished.
Oh, he moved.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are your
My
mics
headphones
on,
weren't
guys?
working. I can't. Yep. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
I see.
Mine should be on.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
we can
good.
hear
Yeah,
you.
got you
Good.
both.
Yeah. So, what was before Supabase, Jonathan?
Pinecone.
Pinecone.
I mean, in our journey,
Pinecone. And then
Pinecone's still very much a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. I meant like that we were internally using regularly.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. But like, it's just AI just tells us that. What was the other one for transcription that we just started using for CEO now? Recall. So yeah, like my point there is like you don't know.
Right.
Like, but that's the beauty of these, what they're called harnesses. Thanks, Jonathan, for kind of letting us know that. But like these harnesses, these software applications that allow you to talk to the AI and they code for you inside of it. So like all you have to do, if you don't know how to set up a server, you literally go, I don't know how to set this up.
Exactly.
And it responds to you. And then you go, I don't have any idea what you just said. And
Do
you
it
keep
for me.
interacting with,
Yeah.
what web page can I go to right now?
Yeah.
And then you can take it. I don't know what any of this crap on the web page means. And you take a screenshot of it and you paste it in there. You're like, I don't know what this means.
Yep.
It'll tell you what to
I've said
click.
before, like, this
Yeah.
is my very first time doing this. You need to walk me through this. Like, tell me
Yeah.
exactly what to do. And
Yeah.
then they'll like ask me sometimes questions. I'm like, I don't know. You choose. Tell me what's better.
Yes.
And like walk me through this so I can.
Yeah, step by step.
Yes.
My biggest thing there is sometimes ARs aren't they're not up to snuff on like new updates and navigation where things are on the screen. So like I'll ask for a step-by-step process on how
Yeah.
to do something, say in Google Ads, and it'll tell me
Changes
to
real
look
quick.
for a specific thing. And I just take a screenshot of the page and say, I'm not seeing that.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? And they're
Yep.
like, oh, it's because the
Yeah.
interface.
Or it'll
the-
be like, try clicking
change.
this.
Yeah.
The greatest
this is where
response
you
is,
find it now.
yes, you're in the
You're-
right spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'm in the
That's what
right
I've been taking
spot.
for.
All right, Jonathan and Caleb, thank you guys for joining
Yeah.
at the spur of a moment. Appreciate
Thanks for
you.
having us.
Now, I want to get into really quick. We're going to take a break from our normal cast, and I just want to dig into any new updates, any big updates in the AI world
The
that you
AI
guys,
update.
that you guys can shine some light on real quick.
Sure.
There's a couple things that
Caleb,
that
I think,
came
has
out
the biggest
lately.
ones. I can chat about them. But do you want to kick it
Sure.
off, Caleb, or do you want me to share some things first?
I can start it off. Yeah. Yep. So the largest thing recently was April 23rd, which as of recording is yesterday. ChatGPT dropped their Images 2.0 model, which has seen the largest advancement in image generation we've seen in a long, long time. So previously, the best model had generally been Gemini Nano Banana 2. But when this dropped, the capabilities just increased huge. Like, it was insane. So I've been able to use it to generate full website layouts with just using ChatGPT Images 2.0, and they're flawless. I've been able
That's awesome.
to use it to generate animated, complicated SVG files with like animations and everything, and it's been able to do that amazing. Even Gemini wasn't able to do that in the last model, and yeah, it's just had huge advances in being able to make images. The only caveat I found so far is Gemini is still better at generating like human parts. So like if you ask the ChatGPT model to make something that has like a human in it and it has hands, it still does all the weird like hand stuff. But aside from that, it's the yep, exactly like that. Aside from that, it's been able to
Somebody's
make
flicking you
the
off
best
in an
images.
AI generative.
Yeah.
Don't put it in an ad. No, I'm just kidding.
Isn't that wild though that
that's
they
cool.
figured out all this other stuff and
And
that
they can't get the hands right.
It's so bizarre to me.
So Caleb, and there
Yep.
may not be no clear answer to this, but as far as image generation goes overall, what's the best application or what's the best use case or platform for that people can use, or is it case specific?
Yeah, so I'd say right now it's still a little bit case specific. So I believe you need to be on a ChatGPT Pro plan to use Images 2.0. I think that's the case. But
Which is, for the audience, is that the $20 level? Is
that's the $20 level, yeah.
$20 level? Got it.
Yeah. So it might be on the free plan, but as far as I know, it's only on the Pro plan. But so if you have that, you're able to generate images straight in that interface. You don't need to go anywhere else for it. And I've been able to use that for just about everything, except for, again, the like human hands part. If you're doing something with that, Gemini is still the better option there.
Got it.
But yeah, what's been actually, yeah, I won't get it more complicated than that. Yeah, basically the new chat model for everything but human like hands, and then Gemini if you need something that with like accurate human looking stuff.
Love that.
Wow.
Thanks. Yeah. So image. What is that called again on ChatGPT?
ChatGPT Images 2.0.
Images 2.0. Beautiful. Awesome. Another. Am I allowed to say gun? Gun in the holster?
Pew pew.
I almost said guy. I almost said
Pew
guys
pew.
earlier when I was welcoming everyone. I'm like, is that?
Oh, I mean, Caleb created a whole brand that he showed us in leadership this morning.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh,
a
yeah,
business
yeah.
that doesn't even exist yet that
Yeah.
we may end up hitting the gas.
Yeah, we know.
It just looks so good.
It
Like,
did.
we need
Yeah,
to
it
do
did.
this. It's amazing.
And we don't have that lunch culture, so that would be amazing.
Trip out to
Legit.
Brooklyn.
All right, awesome,
yeah.
Caleb. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I'm going to tap your shoulder here really quick for any advancements
Sure.
in your area.
Yeah. There's always new models coming out, right? Like ChatGPT just came out with they came out with the image model a couple days ago or yesterday or whenever, and then GPT 5.5 came out recently as well. Anthropic released Opus 4.7 recently. There's always new models coming out. We're kind of at a point though, from where I'm seeing it in the landscape, where like, yes, there's going to be massive improvements where we'll have like these monumental leaps in like overall intelligence and capabilities of models, but we're kind of at a point where there's really for the first time in a while, we can kind of breathe a little bit and see there's like this like even playing ground where now it's less about like, ooh, which specific model do I need to use? We still do that, but it's more about like, what harness am I using? And I don't want to repeat everything that's been said, but I think that's probably been what you guys were talking about before I hopped on here. Is that right? Or or is that a new concept that we haven't talked about yet?
We were talking about some of that. Yeah.
For a short time, yeah, we were just kind of referencing like to dig into stuff.
Yeah.
Karen was talking about how she just never touched anything before, and then just
Yep.
by grabbing something and
Got
hitting.
a call. I got to take it.
Oh yeah, is it a
Right,
lead?
okay.
Hi, it's Manny speaking.
Got a hot lead. Manny's got a hot lead.
He's got a hot
So yeah, that's what we
Nice.
were. Well, talk about that real quick. So what are the harnesses right now that you're recommending? Because here we all kind of have our favorites. Like some
Yeah.
people are using, I use Cursor. I
Mhm.
can't seem to get out of it.
Mhm.
Even though I can do the same thing in VS Code as I can in Cursor in many ways. I just
Yeah.
love Cursor for some reason. But
Right.
what's your current, like, what's the lineup there?
Well, I would say like the most capable ones are going to be ones that are based on something like Visual Studio Code. So Cursor is separate, but it's still based on Visual Studio Code. Anti-Gravity from Google it's based on Visual Studio Code. So those are going to give like the biggest amount of power. It's also the most complicated to get set up. So like if you have an AI integrator in your company currently, like 100% get everyone on VS Code or Cursor or whatever, and like do it the most impactful way where there's the most capabilities. Like it can install entire like Python libraries like on the fly, like things like that. If you're a company where you're like, I need to use AI more, I'm hearing people talk about harnesses, but what does VS Code mean? Like you're talking about a programming environment that I need to install on my accountant's computer? Like what are you talking about? Look into things like Claude Cowork. Manus, MANUS is another one. Codex from OpenAI, they have their own harness as like an app on your computer. Personally, I hate that one because you can't see what it's doing behind the scenes, and I want to see that as like a developer and as a systems architect and all that. But again, if you kind of don't want to see that because you're not a developer and you don't want to get bogged down with the code and all that, like just use something like Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork's probably one of the more like well-known ones out there. We're also building our own harness, so there's nothing novel about a harness. It's just it helps you do things that you wouldn't be able to do on a website like ChatGPT.com or Anthropic.com, etc. I think that's leaving way for the biggest impacts we're seeing now in like how does AI get integrated better into companies in a way that has like monumental leaps in efficiency improvement, process improvement, etc. It's using a harness, but then using the best like architecture for that harness. So probably won't get into that in this call, but things like agents files, skill files. Google just open sourced their design MD file a couple days ago. So
Yeah.
being able to understand
Can you
how to
talk about that?
architect
'Cause
these things.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Did we talk about skills already before I hopped on? I don't want to. That's a good predecessor,
No.
but no. Okay. So skills are basically. I mean, it's all over the place. If you're looking, Gary Tan is a great person I follow on X and Instagram and all that. He has a G stack. He has like a whole like Claude Code setup that he has for. I think his comment was
My wife
like, "We're
has
not."
one of those G stacks. It's a car, right? It's a car.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know where that was going.
Caleb, you gotta hold your. I'm sorry, John. Caleb, hold your computer. Hold your keyboard up real quick,
Oh, his keyboard
yeah.
is
because that's what you're hearing click.
Oh, sorry.
That is an
I didn't
epic
realize it was that
G
loud.
stack.
Yes.
If I've ever seen one. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
Jonathan. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that was worth the interruption for sure. Yeah, so he and others in the industry are talking about like it's kind of crazy where like as AI met development, the big like epiphany was, oh, you can vibe code, right? And we do vibing as part of our coding process. We do a lot more than that. We do context engineering, we do other things like that too, but vibing is a part of it. Well, we're at a point now where a lot of the work that we can do doesn't even involve code. And so like you're spending all this time creating something like we'll talk about in a second, a skill or a design MD file or whatever. And literally all it is just text formatted in a certain way. And that's it. So like today, for example, I was working on an automation. I can't get into the specifics of it, but it's an automation that required going to a certain type of website and doing certain types of like clicking through and even like submitting messages and stuff on it. And I created an entire skill in one of our harnesses that we have here internally that I taught it how to do that. So I initially had it go to the website and click on this and tell me what it saw. Okay, now do you think I should click on this button or that button? And it's like, oh, I should do this one. I'm like, nope, it's this one here instead, and this is why. Remember that. And then I went to the next one and kept like training it or whatever. And then by the time we had this long conversation at the end, I'm like, okay, great, wrap this up into a new skill. And it knows what a skill is because it's AI, it's smart. And it turned into a skill. I'm able to start a whole new conversation in that harness from scratch with no prior memory or recollection, and just told it to use that skill to do the same thing, and it does it. But literally zero code is used for that. It's just basically an instruction document. Think of it like an SOP for computers. So like if you have your team needing to be more, process or have more processes in place to do something the correct way, you would give them an SOP and tell them, use the SOP, and if anything changes, change the SOP so you're all up to date, but you all use that one central SOP. That's
Right.
exactly what a skill is. A skill is the AI version of a human SOP, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so people
So,
understand
yeah.
the impact of that. We are currently doing something, a couple of us on the team, where we're really trying to optimize our LinkedIn accounts. And so I'm making connections with potential prospects and people that I see that would be interesting to have conversations with, things like that. I spent about 20 minutes this morning making all of my connections, sending all of my messages. Jonathan did the same thing in about 10 minutes. But it wasn't that he did it in half the time, right? Because the skill did that for him. He really only spent 15 seconds clicking a button out of his day. So like you think about the impact of time that
Right.
makes, just being able to
Exactly.
create that one little thing
Yep.
and how that just compounds over time. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep my LinkedIn secret a secret,
No.
Manny. You outed me.
We can
I was
edit that
thinking
out.
that,
We
right?
can edit this out.
No, you're fine. I'm just joking, messing with you.
Well, and
Yeah.
what's beautiful is it doesn't violate terms of service, because I mean, it may violate terms of service, but it doesn't in the same way as like a browser automation tool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it does today, that stuff is going to be so common, like
In the
the
future.
AIs
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
computers, because when stuff like that is running on our machines, someone could walk by and it looks like like a ghost is at your computer.
All right.
It's making decisions, it's clicking things, it's writing random things but it's not from a script. See, that's why this is such a massive deal, because before you could do something like that, but it would be from a script. And every single thing that you wrote, it would replace their company name or their first
Right.
name or something like that.
Yep.
And now it's actually reading stuff, making decisions, like all those things. So anything at all that is done at a computer all day, any job that is done by looking at a computer, making decisions and clicking on things, that job will be able to be scaled and or fully automated
Mm-hmm.
in very soon. I mean, it can right now.
Yeah.
But
I can give an example of that.
It just over time. Go ahead.
Just an example of that, like we talk about like using a harness versus going to chatgpt.com, and like I don't think that really like clicks in a lot of people's heads. Like the example we just gave in using a browser to go to a website and send messages and all that, like that's a pretty clear example of something you can't do in chatgpt.com or Claude.com that you can't do with a harness. Manny and I actually had an epiphany yesterday when we were working on a web-based automation. And it was kind of going off the rails a little bit. We're like, hold on a second, let me actually let it do its thing, because I'm curious where it's going here. It was essentially using AppleScript, I think it's called. It was creating a script on the fly in AppleScript to control an app programmatically on my Mac. Now, same thing would work on Windows if there's some kind of scripting language for Windows. The point isn't like, oh, this is only available for Mac. The idea is every major operating system has ways that you can programmatically control apps on the computer. But in the past, like pretty much no one knows about that except like really nerdy programmers or like high-end developers that need to do that kind of automation work. And even then, it's so cost prohibitive that like probably most CEOs wouldn't even know that exists, because if they did look into it, it'd be like, oh, you have to get like a senior level developer or a senior level developer team that specifically has experience in that area, and good luck affording that because it's incredibly expensive. Now, if you can have the AI automate some of that script writing, all of a sudden, what was the example we used yesterday, Manny? Not condoning this. This is a hypothetical example. Do not do this at home. But you could have an AI harness create a script on the fly that would, check an email that comes through. And when that comes through, if a certain thing is in that email, it will do a quick search on the web for something. And based on that, it could then send someone a text message, for example.
Right.
Or like think of any app that's on your computer. You could check your calendar. You could say like, whenever a new invitation comes through on my calendar, send an email to this person and then do research on the web and send this text message and, whatever else you can, whatever other main Apple app you have on your computer, it can control. So yeah, to your point, Dave, it's not it's going to improve. It's not perfect yet. There's a lot of flaws in it, so it's not necessarily 100% production level ready for every single scenario. But like, it is already there. It's just a matter of improvement. This is not some theory that like at some point in the future this is going to exist. Like, it exists literally right now.
Where are we on phone conversations with AI? Like, I know, I heard yesterday we have a very publicly traded company that we do some work for, and we were demoing some, I guess, lead follow up with some AI phone stuff that we built.
Caleb's really the hero on that one. You can explain how that works.
Where is that in terms of quality now compared to where it was a year ago?
Yeah, I can speak to that one. So it has significantly improved over the past year. It's still you're still able to tell that it's AI if you listen close, but the voice models are getting so good that oftentimes you kind of can't tell. Like on that demo that I had, it basically just called them and was trying to get them to book an appointment. And it sounded so realistic and was handling objections so well that I watched all of their jaws drop, and they're like, it can do that now.
They have an AI integrator on their team.
Yeah. So it's gotten significantly better in the past year. And if you're using the right tech for it, it can become very hard to tell if it's an AI or a human now. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And you think of a case like that, that's very much what we're doing for them is B2C. We are super in tune with AI and what sounds like AI. So if it hardly sounds like AI to us, think about the general public. It's going to be very hard for them to tell.
Yeah. A big disclaimer though is like, so I think if there's like a CEO listening to this and like, oh, I'm hearing the 5K team say like, oh, AI voices to a point where it's almost indistinguishable. And then, hey, Bob down the hallway here, you got to get us using voice AI. They're probably going to search the web and try 5 different tools that are not going to sound like human at all. There's tons of them out there still that just horrible experiences.
That's the advantage of having you guys on our team.
Yeah, right, exactly. So the point is like, it's not just a matter of like, oh, technology has gotten to this point. Like, you really have to know what tool to use for the job. I was even humbled. Like, Caleb was the one that discovered that new tech that we were using for the company we were just referring to. I've been doing voice AI for other companies for, like well over a year, like Caleb said. And it's been good enough to do things like even certain types of permission-based kind of cold/warm calling or whatever we've done. But even with that, it's like, weird glitches like, oh, it'll take a little longer to respond initially. The person says hello, and then it's like a half second later someone responds, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're out. You're like, oh, this is a spam call, right? Or like an automated call. Or it'll throw them a challenging question and it'll sit there for a while answering, not be like or whatever. And that's a very like that one that I've been using is probably one of the most well-known and most praised AI-based voice callers out there. And it's not even as good as the other one we're using now, which is lesser known, but just outperforms by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jonathan and Caleb, both for joining us.
Appreciate the update.
Yeah,
James,
for sure.
Buy me Coke.
At the same time.
That's what I'm
We are so in sync over here. Thank you guys very much, Jonathan, Caleb.
Of course.
Dave, Danny, Pam, Karen, Matt, Marcus.
Yeah.
Pick whichever one out of there you want. But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on here. All the input and all the value that you guys brought. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Next time we're going to be on, we're going to be talking about some language things and some other stuff that we've seen pop up.
Like sassy words, like naughty words, spicy words.
We'll probably get a little bit sassy. You can count on us for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to be talking about like directness and conversations that we're having, whether it be prospects, whether it be clients, and how the shift has happened over the past couple of years, and how we're actually communicating with people that we're talking to. So that'll be a fun one. Make sure you join us for that one. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Peace out.